Welcome back to our Art of the Possible demo series. I'm Samuel Kane, VP of Experience at Astound Digital. This demo series is where we come together to showcase bold ideas, tangible artifacts and emerging experiences created by our teams, all designed to challenge assumptions and spark new thinking about what's next. In our pilot episode, we kick things off in the cruise industry, demonstrating how digital innovation can elevate pre-cruise excursion bookings and unlock new value before customers even step on board. Today, we're shifting gears to the world of manufacturing. I'll walk you through a set of concepts and demos that explore how modern commerce experiences can better serve complex buyers, streamline decision-making, and open the door to entirely new ways of doing business. The goal is simple: to push boundaries, explore what's possible, and inspire teams to rethink how technology, creativity, and experience design can shape the future. So let's dive in. So now let's paint a picture of actually who this demo is made for. So in this case, we're going to look at our user persona. This is Sophia. She works for a company called Canyon Ridge Builders. She's a construction site manager. She manages a couple of sites for the company, and she's based out in Phoenix, Arizona. For the purposes of today's demo, there's three things that she's really interested in. One of them is making sure that her assets are operational at any time. The second thing is making sure that warranties are up to date on the parts and machinery they have. And then thirdly, the consumables for those assets are also within her remit to purchase. For what it's worth as well, and it will come into relevance a little bit later, any cost-saving measures or anything that she can also report back to the company are also really within her remit. So things like discounts and opportunities to save would well be something that Sophia would be interested in. So that's the buyer. Let's maybe have a look now at her assets. So you can see here that Sophia is responsible for an overall fleet of 46 machines, various different types of diggers and heavy machinery. And then a little bit more context about today's demo, and from the brand perspective, who we are presenting this on behalf of is a manufacturing company called Larkin. So Larkin Construction, they produce heavy machinery. They also produce the parts that then go within those assets. They also provide consumables for those vehicles as well. They also provide warranties too. So with those three things now understood, we're going to look at a couple of different scenarios, and the first one being an urgent replacement part. So let's walk through what that's going to feel like for Sophia. So first thing on a Monday, you can see 9:41. It's early for this, but she gets a notification coming up on her phone while she's on the way to the site. It's an Internet of Things notification. So one of those elements of Larkin as a brand install that IoT within their parts so that we can call out any issues that come up. And what you can see here is a notification that's come up on her phone that says your loader 6A, which is one of her favorites, has flagged a hydraulic pump issue. Pressures drop below operational threshold. A replacement is required. Visit the online store to order a replacement. Now, Sophia can't do that right now. She's in the car. But when she gets into the office, as you're going to see here, she does log into the Larkin website. So you can see here, and we're fast forwarding through the site to an area of the site which we call in My Garage. So you can see here, My Garage has got all of the assets that she has purchased over the couple of years, etc. So you can see all of them listed out in this view here. Now, there's a couple of badges that you can see, first and foremost. We can see there's a badge on the 320 Tier 4, which says that there's 5 warranties that are due to expire soon. And as you know, as part of our persona and their remit, this is something that we're going to need to look at a little bit later. Also, that there's some scheduled maintenance as well that we could look to support her on. But most importantly for right now is this big red call out on this one at the top. So it says here that parts replacement is needed. So if she clicks on this, it now starts to break down that asset and the component parts that would be within it. So you can see here we're looking at the engines, drivetrain, cabins, attachments, for example, and we can see we've got a flag on the drivetrain. We click into this and we can now see the various sort of component parts that make that up, but we can see here this flag to say there's a replacement needed on the hydraulic pump. So she goes ahead and presses view details. So let's fast forward now to the PDP page. So PDP page really as you expect in terms of layout, components, etc. But how can we super serve Sophia in this particular instance? So firstly, just a couple of things of note to call out. We can see here that she is seeing her company's price. So maybe the regular price might be just over $3,000, but her company already have a contract for that for a lower price, and she's in luck. There's a sale on, and the actual price of the item's even lower than that. So not a bad time to have a pump failure. The other things that we've heard from feedback, how we can really assist people like Sophia, is when they are going to purchase a new part is to make sure they also consider the adjacent parts of that they might also need. Because the last thing you want is to buy a part, it turn up on site, and you don't have those additional bits and pieces needed to install the part. So that's why you can see here the adjacent parts here. In this case, it's a clamp hose and a hydraulic hose. So she goes ahead and adds these in. She's also going to need someone to install this part as well. So we also go ahead and add that to the booking, and then the actual part itself we can add to cart. All good for now. So Sophia knows that she's done what she needs to do. It's as quick as it could possibly be. It's in stock at a local warehouse, and it's going to be ordered within 24 hours. It'll be with her in 24 hours. So we can see the order confirmation. The only things really of note here to call out is the installation address. So there will be a work order as part of this parts order that she's put through. All is good. Let's fast forward. So a little bit later on in the day, there's an escalation on the other site, and she really actually needs this asset to be at the other location. So she agrees internally to get a low loader that can actually pick up the piece of machinery and deliver it to the next site. That's all well and good. However, as we know, it's not operational, and these parts need to be shifted to the new site. So the first thing she does is she goes back to the Larkin website to adjust the order. Because she's only been on the site within the last 24 hours, the site recognises her, and upon visiting the site, and now on mobile, you can see the Larkin AI assistant has popped up to say, "Hi Sophia, good to see you again. We see an order is due for delivery tomorrow. Is that what your visit today is regarding?" So she responds and says, "Yeah, absolutely. I want to change the shipping address to a different address here in Phoenix. Certainly, the shipping address has been updated. Please just confirm this is correct." She goes ahead and says, "Yes, absolutely. That's where it needs to go." All done. So she's about to clock off and go back to her next task, and actually the AI assistant reminds her that we also have a work order scheduled for installation at the previous address. "Would you like us to amend the installation address to match the updated location?" "Of course. Thanks for reminding me. Yes, please." "Not a problem, Sophia. I'll update that for you." So that's that first vignette. So we can see here how a multi-channel approach to how we can contact Sophia, particularly about urgent parts being needed. How she can then log into the site, and we've got that really useful view of all the assets she has and the parts, etc. And then also we're helping from that service perspective to make sure the part, the asset, and the engineer actually arrives at the right place at the right time. So all is good. Let's throw forward to the next scenario. So this one is a proactive warranty renewal. We know this is within her remit. So this is around being super serving Sophia, making sure that she doesn't miss out with any of her parts going unmaintained or without warranty. So we can see here we've got an email from Larkin saying, "Act now, there's only 30 days left on your S50 pin grabber. We can extend the warranty from $80. Something that she knows that she needs to do. She's got a bit of time now, so she's going to look into it." So she clicks the CTA and goes through to the website. So what we landed on here is the warranty option for this particular part. There's three items, or there's three options that she can go with. One of them is the default maintenance package, which she already has. Then we've got Larkin Protection and Larkin Protection Plus. So in this case, she enters this into the Knowledge Hub, and you can see we've got a little search box here at the bottom. Which plan covers overtime or after hours labour rates? She hits this, and we're now served up with a response from the Knowledge Hub. So she can go ahead and read that full article if she wants, but essentially, and more usefully for her, is with the Larkin AI assistant and calls out basically that she needs to upgrade to Larkin Protection Plus if she wants that full overtime and after hours coverage. Now this is a particularly troublesome part for her, and it's as I said, it's caused her some pain in the past. So in this case, she opts for the Protection Plus. Clicks this, and now we're waiting for that response. Now we can throw forward to a different user persona. This is a chap called Sean Peterson. He works at Larkin. So this opportunity has come through to him, and you can see now in Slack the view that he gets. So you can see obviously where it's come from, what warranty someone's looking for, the product they're looking for, and also we can just call out other bits and pieces that might be useful to Sean. So the fact that how many other warranties are going to be due within the next few months, just so he gets an understanding of the size of the prize going forwards. So he goes ahead and presses view opportunity, and we can now see this in the back end in Salesforce. So he's had a look at he's dug into the product and understood a little bit more about it, the actual part itself. And looking at the location of where the product is actually utilized, there's a little bit more risk involved, and therefore the price is going to increase ever so slightly. So he updates the price of the product, And he goes ahead and sends this back to Sophia. So Sophia will get a notification wherever she's opted in for them. It might be mobile, SMS, email, or just a notification actually coming up within the site, My Account area. But either way, all roads point to this. So you can see in the cart here, we've got that warranty renewal, $218 for this particular part, and there's an expiration on the quote as well. So before she goes ahead and proceeds with that, we also just give Sophia a bit of a heads up about these other warranties that are expiring within the next few months. And if she so wanted to, she could either request quotes for them individually, or she can request a quote for all. In this case, because it's 6 months' time, it's not actually quite as vital that she looks into it just now. So she instead just goes ahead and proceeds to the checkout. That's scenario 2 wrapped up. Okay, so let's now look at the third and final scenario. Consumables. So Larkin provide many things to their customers, the assets themselves, the parts, the warranty, and also installation. But that fifth component in their business, and it's really key to them because it drives more continued revenue for them, is consumables, because they know it's a regular product that customers need to buy. Unfortunately, Sophia doesn't currently purchase her consumables from Larkin. She gets it from a third party. So let's have a look at how we might do something about that. Firstly, we need to understand what the data looks like. So from a campaign perspective, we're going to offer Sophia a discount. So before we can do that, we need to understand who this discount is going to be aimed at. And in this case, I'm just going to call out a couple of data points on screen. So how large the fleet is, if she's opted in for marketing, what her lifetime value is going to be, how frequently she logs into the website. This could be many, many more things that go to paint this picture. But the most important element here is that she doesn't currently purchase consumables with us. Now, Sophia is actually one of 3,200 odd different customers who are in exactly the same position, and we think are going to be really well serviced by Larkin's consumables. So we're using Data Cloud to build that segment. You can see the bits and pieces that we're including to kind of build that segment out. And then we'll also leverage Marketing Cloud to go ahead and send an email to Sophia. So this is the email that Sophia is going to receive around consumables. Now, this could have just been a very simple campaign email saying that Sophia can receive X discount if she goes ahead and subscribes. That may have been quite successful. But what we want to do here is make this a bit more relatable to Sophia. So the first things you can see is, even just as you quickly scan down the page, she's going to recognize the assets that she has, and she's also going to recognize that we're predicting the kind of consumables that she's going to use. So on these two, you can see here, some transmission oil, some other bits and pieces she's going to need. So she's going to look at this and recognize that this is targeted for her and her assets. Pretty decent. The second thing that we should call out here is actually around the subscription discount that we're offering. And again, this is where Data Cloud comes into play, because we're able to do some testing and modeling to actually understand what that threshold is to get someone in that segment, just like Sophia, to sign up for a subscription to earn this discount. Now, obviously, we don't want to just give a significant discount because we're going to be eroding our margin. So we need to play around with this quite carefully to make sure that it's just enough to persuade someone, but it's not too much that we're giving away value, and also it isn't too little that no one's interested. So in this case, this is something that Sophia is interested in, where she can save a few dollars at the site. So consumable seems to be a viable option for her. So she goes ahead and presses shop all. So in this case, we can now see what the cart looks like for her. So we can see a few predicted materials, consumables here. So we've got the transmission oil, various quantities of these that we think Sophia is going to need. Obviously, we know the size of the fleet, and therefore we can predict it. But what we really want to do here is we don't just want to get one order, we want to get repeat orders, and that's why we have the subscription. The subscription obviously is a feature's one thing, but a subscription with a discount is really how we're trying to add that value to Sophia. So she goes ahead and she turns on these radio buttons so she can actually now receive that discount. So we can see that just by following this relatively simple campaign segmentation, we've now convinced Sophia to take us up on those consumables. So she goes ahead and proceeds to check out. What you're seeing today is a few examples of what's possible in the world of manufacturing, shaped around specific buyers, their roles, and those moments that really matter. And that's how we approach experience at Astound, starting with empathy and designing for real-world complexity. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of our Art of the Possible series.